Bem-vindos ao nosso espaço, um mergulho profundo nos assuntos mais interessantes de esportes, ciências e temas gerais do momento. Aqui você vai encontrar conteúdo de qualidade, com análises empolgantes e descobertas fascinantes que vão expandir seus horizontes. Nossa missão é trazer informação relevante de forma dinâmica e descontraída. Queremos que você faça parte dessa jornada incrível de conhecimento e diversão. Se gostar do nosso conteúdo, não esqueça de deixar seu like e se inscrever no canal para não perder nenhuma novidade. Ative o sininho também. Aproveite!
If you love science, don't forget to like and subscribe. Imagine standing on a prehistoric shoreline roughly 400 million years ago. The sky looks different, dominated by a moon that appears significantly larger and more imposing than the one we see today. This isn't just a visual difference, it is a gravitational one. During the Devonian period, often called the Age of Fishes, the moon was much closer to Earth. Because of this proximity, the gravitational tug on Earth's oceans was immensely more powerful, creating tidal ranges that would dwarf our modern tides. In this era of giants and strange creatures, the celestial dance between the Earth and the moon was carving the path for the future of all land-dwelling life. To understand why you have lungs today, we have to look at the physics of the ancient ocean. As the moon orbited a younger, faster rotating Earth, it generated massive tidal bulges. In the vast, shallow inland seas and coastal estuaries of the Devonian, these tides didn't just move a few feet, they moved miles. Huge swaths of land were flooded and then drained every few hours. This rhythmic movement of water created a unique and brutal environment, the intertidal zone. For the fish living in these areas, life was a constant cycle of being washed inland and then potentially stranded as the water receded toward the horizon. This is where the Lunar Lung hypothesis comes into play. As the moon began its slow, billion-year retreat away from the Earth due to tidal friction, the dynamics of these coastal environments shifted. However, while the moon was still close, the environmental pressure was at its peak. Fish that were swept into inland pools during massive high tides often found themselves trapped in stagnant, shallow water as the tide went out. In these isolated puddles, oxygen levels drop rapidly. Gills, which are highly efficient at extracting oxygen from flowing water, are nearly useless in stagnant, warm, or muddy ponds. Even worse, if the water evaporated entirely, a standard fish was doomed. Evolution, however, found a workaround. Some groups of lobe-finned fish already possessed a primitive structure known as a lung sac or a modified swim bladder. Originally used for buoyancy, these organs allowed the fish to gulp air from the surface when the water became too hypoxic to breathe through gills. But the moon's extreme tides turned this backup plan into a primary survival strategy. The fish that could best utilize atmospheric oxygen were the ones that survived the long hours between high tides. Over millions of years, the selection pressure exerted by the moon's gravitational pull refined these primitive sacs into complex, vascularized lungs. But breathing was only half the battle. If the moon's retreat and the resulting tidal cycles left you stranded 100 yards from the receding shoreline, being able to breathe wouldn't save you if you couldn't move. This environmental trap forced the evolution of sturdier fins. The lobe-finned fish began to develop bony structures within their appendages that could support their weight against the mud. These were the precursors to our own arms and legs. We often think of the transition from water to land as a choice, a brave step into a new world. But the reality is much more chaotic. It was an escape mission. Our ancestors were being pushed out of the water by the receding tides, forced to adapt or perish in the drying mud of an ancient world. Recent mathematical models have shown that the specific tidal resonance of the Devonian period was a sweet spot for this transition. If the moon had been further away, the tides might have been too weak to create these massive, oxygen-poor traps. If it had been closer, the tides might have been too violent for any delicate life to survive the transition. The moon acted as a biological pump, rhythmically forcing aquatic life to interact with the terrestrial world. It was a cosmic conveyor belt that moved life from the safety of the deep ocean into the challenging, high-oxygen environment of the land. Every time you take a deep breath, you are experiencing the legacy of a celestial event that happened hundreds of millions of years ago. Your lungs are, in a very real sense, a biological response to the moon's orbit. Without that silver orb in our sky, the Earth might still be a world dominated by aquatic life, with the continents remaining silent and barren. We are the children of the tides, shaped by the gravity of a receding moon. It is a profound reminder that our biological history is inextricably linked to the mechanics of the solar system. The next time you look up at the moon, remember that it didn't just inspire our poetry. It built the very machinery we use to breathe. For more incredible facts like this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications.